So by using the model we had to use when presenting the plot of the story, the exposition or the beginning of the story starts off when an enchantress transforms a beautiful prince into a hideous beast because he refused to give her shelter in exchange for a rose. For a long time, the beast lives alone at his now enchanted castle with only his also enchanted staff to keep him company. In a village nearby the castle, a beautiful girl named Belle lives with her somewhat crazy father Maurice, who is an inventor. So the rising action of the movie happens when Belle's father Maurice is one night forced to seek shelter at the castle when he escapes from a lot of wild wolves. The beast is not satisfied with this at all, and he takes Maurice as his prisoner. When Belle comes looking for Maurice one night and finds him in the basement of the castle, she's shocked, and then the climax of the movie happens when she asks the beast if she can take her father's place, and the beast accepts this. So after that, the falling action begins, and Belle and the beast get to develop their relationship. In the beginning it's very rocky, but eventually they fall in love with each other, and Belle especially falls in love with the beast's personality. And there the resolution or the end of the story occurs, and the curse is broken, and the beast turns into a beautiful prince again, and they live happily ever after at the castle.
By using this model, I will clarify the roles of the characters on three different levels. And the first one is the project axis, which includes the subject and the object. And the subject is Belle, because she saves the beast from his curse by giving him love. Yeah. And the fact that Belle is the subject gives a different illusion about gender than the traditional, where the princesses are the ones who get rescued by prince. And the communication axis includes the sender, the object, and the receiver. And the senders are Cogsworth, Lumiere, and Mrs. Potts. And it is their job to find someone who loves the beast to set him free from his curse.
And the last axis is the conflict axis, which includes the helper, the subject, and the opponent. The helper is Cogsworth and Lumiere and Mrs. Potts, and the opponent is Gaston and Le Fou. And they help Belle, for instance, when they make her dinner, and they make her feel comfortable when she's trapped in the castle. And they are the opponents because they, for instance, when they try to get Belle's father Maurice caught by the asylum, and the only way that he can escape from the asylum is if Belle would marry Gaston, and by that Gaston prevents the beast from loving Belle and the other way around.
So the first scene we've chosen to analyze is the opening scene of Beauty and the Beast, where we're kind of introduced to Belle and her whole village for the first time. And the scene takes a look at just like Belle's everyday life as she walks through her village and says hello to all the people living there. Already at the beginning of the clip, you kind of get the sense that Belle is kind of bored, and she actually sings, and the song that she's singing every morning is just the same. You also see her walking with a book, and we get to know that she loves reading, and she reads almost a new book every day. So you could kind of imagine that her reading is her way of escaping from her boring everyday life. So later in the clip, we're introduced to the handsome Gaston, who seems to be every girl in the village dream except for Belle, who's not interested in him at all. And even though she's not interested in him, she's exactly who he wants to marry, just because she's the most beautiful girl in town. But Belle does definitely not want to marry Gaston because of his kind of cruel personality.
And Gaston is this handsome, strong ideal of a man, and he's well aware that everyone in town looks up to him and really admires his features. But secretly, he's really like the beast in the movie. And he has this massive ego that he needs to boost by choosing the most beautiful girl in town, Belle, instead of, for example, these three girls who's also very beautiful, but he wants the hardest one to get. Like, he needs the challenge that he gets from Belle, and he sees that this way of picking out one in the crowd is like a way to accessorize himself, because Belle is like can become this accessorize that makes him look even better because she's so beautiful, and it's accessories to himself by that means. And for example, when he drops the book in the mud, it's a way Gaston tells the audience that he don't think that Belle is a woman who should read, because his gender roles are correcting him to say that a woman should be the one who fulfills the man's needs instead of her own, where Belle is more like education is her main focus in her life right now. And she should rather focus on important things such as himself, and his very traditional perspective of the genders. And with the traditional perspective, we see that he's extremely shallow with Belle's looks, because he only chooses her because of them. And he, for example, also believes that the beast is a monster because he looks like one. Yeah. And Belle in this movie has gained a lot of intelligence from, for example, her books, and she just really not like to be told what to do or what she cannot do. For example, she refuses the proposal from Gaston because she don't like his personality and his character, even though he's portrayed as this strong and traditional male character, where he's like the one who can protect her and take care of her. She refuses to marry him, and instead she chooses the beast when she discovers that he cannot harm her any longer and that he loves her because of his person, and she really loves him. So.
Gaston has some feminine features in his personality, and this clip is an example. Often LeFou says, Often LeFou says, "My, what a guy that Gaston," and that could be misheard for "I want a guy like Gaston." And Disney has often queer-coded the villains, and Beauty and the Beast is not an exception, because Gaston and LeFou are shown as the enemies in Beauty and the Beast. Okay. It's obvious that LeFou likes Gaston, and it's very clear in this song. He wants him, and he wants to be like him. Yeah, Gaston's entire purpose in life is to show that he's not gay. He's really masculine, and perhaps Gaston overperformed his masculinity because he lives in a homophobic French small town.
Another one that can be queer-coded is Cogsworth, because he seems a bit homosexual in the way that he interacts with Lumiere. But they can obviously not go public with their relationship because they are afraid of the risk of the beast. But again, this is just a way that you can analyze their relationship. It's not necessarily the way they are.
So Lumiere could be queer-coded as well. even though he has a fling with a friend's Snob. His true love is Cogsworth, and he knows what it's like to love in an atmosphere of shame, and that is why he helps the Beast.
Belle is queer-coded as well, but in a different way. She looks and sounds like a princess, but she doesn't behave like one. She kind of breaks the stereotype of what a woman are supposed to behave in a movie. For instance, she doesn't want to just marry anyone. And she is able to keep her femininity while still being established as strong and independent. Also, which also indicates that she differs from the whole town and the population in the town, is that she's the only one who wears blue, which you can see in this picture. The enchanted rose feels like a ticking clock for the Beast, because when the Beast turns 21, then the rose will die and the Beast will be trapped in his Beast body. The rose represents the Beast's life and his chances of finding someone that can love him. The magic mirror also seems as a symbol because it allows the Beast to see whatever he wants to see through this mirror, magic mirror. So it works as this window to the world, and yes, and it kind of represents the Beast and what he has lost and what he has become now, which is a beast. Yes. When he sees out of this mirror, he gets reminded of what he has become, and that he is cut out of the world, because obviously he cannot go out on the streets without scaring everybody and without them wanting to kill him.
And the people in the castle have been transformed into what they were, their personality. Yeah. And if we start looking at Cogsworth, he was aggressive and had a temper, and he was like a ticking bomb. And then he turned into a clock. And Lumiere was glowing and friendly, and he turned into a candle. And Mrs. Potts was comforting, cheerful, and warm, just like a cup of tea. And then she turned into a teapot. And the Beast was ugly on the inside, and now he's ugly on the outside.
And from these analyses, we have discussed that feminism is a very big topic in the movie, because Belle is representing a whole new generation of girls that she's more like a person who she does what she wanna do and not what the norms and tradition told her to. And we also see that in the new reinterpretation of Disney's Beauty and the Beast, where Emma Watson is playing Belle. In this movie, feminism is a very discussed topic as well, and we really see where all this feminism comes from. And also the queer coding in this movie has shown as openly gay characters in the new movie. So we also see where it comes from, because, for example, Le Fou is openly gay in the new movie, and we also saw these features in this one.